Thank you for joining me again for a daily Sefer Mitzvah study. Today we are going to continue talking about a mitzvah that we talked about yesterday, and we're going to introduce a new mitzvah that we're going to talk about for the next several days. We left off yesterday with positive mitzvah number 171. There's not a lot left for me to say about it because we covered quite a bit of it last time. But one thing I mentioned is, I believe I mentioned this, the um, that the half shekel is incumbent upon Jewish men over the age, I believe it's over the age of 20, and not on Jewish women. So where does that idea come from? Because is it really a time-bound commandment? I mean, it's a tax, basically a flat tax that's taken, one point during the year, um, and through you had like a period of time where you're able to contribute the tax to your half shekel to pay for the maintenance and worship that was happening in the temple. Um, but where does the idea come from that it's not incumbent upon a woman? That doesn't mean that a woman can't give her own money, just give money to the temple if they want to. But as far as the half shekel, that it's not required for the women to do so. So where that is found or how that's derived, there's a little bit of an argument between the sages in the Talmud, and so the verses say, and we're in Exodus 30 verse 12, and I'll read a few verses here. When you take the sum of the children of Israel, according to their numbers, let each one give to the Lord an atonement for his soul when they are counted. Then there will be no plague among them when they're counted. Now, keep in mind we're not deriving whether male or female obligation from any of the genders in that verse because we're talking a plural about the children of Israel. And so verse 13 goes on and says, "This they shall give everyone who goes through the counting half a shekel according to the holy shekel, 20 gerahs equal 1 shekel, half a shekel shall be an offering to Hashem." All right. So here it says, and also verse 14, everyone who goes through the counting from the age of 20 and upward shall give an offering to the Lord. So what I heard from Rabbi Beryl Bell, who translated Sefer HaMitzvos, um, is that it is um, here it says everyone who goes through the counting um, from the age of 20 and upward. And over is the word. And so this could be who like goes through the counting or anyone who goes over. And also in verse 13, they shall give everyone who goes over for the count. So going over, what are we talking about? So there were two opinions of the sages. One was that it was referring to anyone who crossed over the Red Sea needed to give the half shekel. And so going over was going over the sea, going across the sea. And then the other opinion was, and because that would then include male and female. Um, but the other opinion was that over is referring to going over to war. And so in that case, that would be everyone male from the age of 20 and upward should give the offering. So that is the final decision, and that's the one that Rambam gives to us in Sefer and Mitzvahs, is that it's men and not the women. However, in Mishnah Torah, he does also mention that a man can choose to give the half shekel on behalf of his wife as a voluntary contribution um, to the temple as well. So it can be done. So it can be done voluntarily, but it's not a requirement that they're going to bang on your door asking you for if you miss the day. All right. So that's the half shekel. The next mitzvah that we're learning today is positive mitzvah number 153, which is the mitzvah to calculate months and years. So this is the mitzvah for Israel to count and calculate the months and years. We're going to get more into this over, like I said, several days. I think it's actually like 7 days of this mitzvah. I'm just going to start out with giving you the verse that this mitzvah is derived from. Exodus 12:2 says, "This shall be the beginning of the months." So that's referring to the month of Nisan. Um, and it comes from Exodus chapter 12, starting in verse 1. And Hashem spoke to Moshe and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, "This shall be for you the head of the months. To you it shall be the first of the months of the year. Speak to the entire community of Israel, saying, on the 10th of this month, let each one take a lamb for each home, a lamb for each household." All right. So we're talking about the month of Nisan, which has just recently passed, and the month of Nisan is to be the first of the religious calendar, though we actually have four beginnings of the year. But that's where the mitzvah comes from. So how does that become the mitzvah to count and to figure out all of the months? Well, we'll talk more about that tomorrow with God's help. So have a wonderful day, a great day in every way, and Chodesh Tov.